welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have part one of our gameplay of Shadows of Kilforth. We're going to be doing the setup and then chapter one. It's if you're not familiar with the Shadows of Kilforth, and I believe Gloom of Kilforth works the same way. You're working your way through a saga, 4 chapters and a finale, and then a big boss fight. So we're going to do the setup and then chapter one. Chapter one took a long time here. I think the other chapters might all fit into the second video. We'll see. Anyway, before we get down to the game topper, I do want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Code. Now, this is a great website where you can buy, sell, and trade games. They have a great selection of games for you to choose from. If you're just looking to build out your collection, if you're looking to get rid of some games in your collection, they will buy games from you. Real easy to use system over there. Be sure to check that out. And the real cool thing is their trade system. Now, if you have a Board Game Geek account, you can go over to Board Game Geek, set up a trade list, what you want in trade, what you have for trade, and then go over to Board Game Co, type in your Board Game Geek username, and they'll compare your trade list with their stock and build out a custom trade list right there on their website for you to then facilitate a trade. Super easy to use, very quick. I really liked doing it when I did it actually for the first time a couple months ago. The whole thing was painless. So be sure to check them out. If you do, click on the link in the description below so that they'll know I sent you over there. Board Game Code makes it easy to buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. All right, well, let's get right down to the game topper, and we're going to play Shadows of Kilforth. Okay, so here we go. Here's the layout. Let me walk you through what we've got going on here. So this 5x5 grid right here is the map, all the different locations we can go to. There's 4 different types of terrain, basically. We've got this purple color is Badlands, the blue are plains, the red are mountains, and the green are forest. All right. Now, a few of them have some special things that happen when you go to them. We'll cover. This one's facing the wrong way. There we go. We'll cover all that when it happens, but for the most part, you know, that's just generally there. Most of them do not have any special abilities. But like I said, a few do. This is the Minishoba Shrine. This is where we start. This is our standee right here. The special ability here is that we can take a market action to purchase items if we want to do that. Now, you'll see I put some of these flags out. I'm not really using them for the purpose that they're meant for in the game. I believe these are called claim tokens. What I use them for whenever I'm playing solo, which is easier. If I was playing with multiple players, then I'd probably have to use them for their intended purpose. When I'm playing solo, though, what I do is, so this location, the Sea of Clouds, has a shortcut to this location here, what does that say? Imperial Forest. So the 2 green flags help me remember that. And then the Black Cave has a shortcut to the Serene Lake. All right. So that's what the 2 purple flags are for. Now the red flag, that's my color. I'm using red. I got more of them down here. What I use that for is to remind me where I can find certain items. So anytime you take, you see you have these different rewards over here: ally, items, titles, and spells. Initially, you pull them and put them in your hand. So this is the one thing I have in my hand right now that I started the game with: Black Scale Poison. All right, and you can see here it has this location, Serene Lake, which is, like we said, right here. So I put this flag to remind me, hey, I have this rumor about Black Scale Poison. If I want to go find it and actually make it a reality, I have to go to the Serene Lake, and then I can discover the Black Scale Poison, at which point it becomes an asset of mine that I can then use for its ability. And you can see here, I lose 1 action point and defeat an enemy at my location, basically poisoning the enemy. So remember, the key is, as long as something is in your hand, it's a rumor, which you can still use rumors for certain things. But if you want to be able to use it as an asset, use it for the ability you see on the card here, then you have to go and actually discover it at the location listed on the card. So we have this 5x5 grid of locations. We have our different reward decks over here. Over here we have plains, mountains, forest, and badlands encounters. These will get drawn at various times throughout the game. Most frequently when I go to a new location, they'll get drawn. But then I can also draw additional ones myself if I want to. Up here we have the skill deck that, as I finish the chapters of my saga, will go through the skill deck and add new skills to my character. This is the Knight deck. Now, 2 of them have already been drawn. You can see right here the Dark Pinnacle. This is the regular side, and then when the Gloom hits the Dark Pinnacle, this is the side. Now, the Dark Pinnacle is the one place that when the Gloom hits it, it actually has a positive effect for me. I actually gain 3 health by being there, but then I do also have to draw and resolve 1 extra night card if I'm there overnight, basically. The other location that has fallen into Gloom is the Eastern Marches, so you can see -2 health if you're there overnight. During the non-Gloom side, there's no negative effect. So as we play through, more night cards will get drawn, more places will fall into Gloom. It'll become more and more perilous for me to be in different locations around the map. Up here, we have the Ancient, which is basically the big bad at the end of the game. So you can see I'm going to be trying to defeat the Bishop of Pride. It's an ancient demon, 10 health, rolls 8 attack dice, so this guy's going to be pretty rough. The bishop overwhelms its victims with terrible panic and horrific delusions, then offers a stark, simple solution to their pain. Join in the darkness by embracing ruin and despair. All right, and so here are the bishop's abilities during battle. He has a trap ability, which causes me to sacrifice 1 title and all of my fate. Then the Bishop of Pride gains +1 maximum and current health points for each ally and each stranger in play. And then when a battle round starts, draw and discard a night card. If none remain, the game ends immediately in a loss. And health point damage stays on the Bishop of Pride after battle, meaning normally enemies heal up if you don't defeat them in the battle, but the Bishop of Pride, you can fight them, leave the battle and then come back and fight them some more. Now, during the night phase, if a plains location falls into Gloom, 1 random plot card will be played on it. The plot cards are here. Those are always going to be bad for me. And if I don't resolve them before I go and fight the bishop, then the Bishop of Pride heals to... Oh, no, I'm sorry. They'll have a ability on them that adds to his power. But also during the night phase, the Bishop of Pride heals 2 health points. All right, then let's take a look at a few more things. So we are a vampire. This is our race. You can see we have 3 combat, 2 knowledge, 2 stealth, and 3 charisma, I think is what that is. I'll have to look it up in a minute. It's actually, so that's fight, study is the name of that attribute, sneak, and then influence. All right, so I'm a vampire, like I said. 4 health is what I start out with. And energy drain. Whenever I defeat an enemy, I heal 1 health point and gain 1 movement action point. And then here, my class is ninja, so this gives me 1 additional fight and 2 additional sneak. And you can see this is my class, and he has the keyword rebel, or the ninja has the keyword rebel. And then abduct. You may only use allies for their keywords for your saga. Treat all of their text and attribute boxes as though they are blank. So in other words, I really am not going to be able... A lot of the allies have special powers that can add to yours, but the ninja is a kind of a lone warrior, isn't going to be using allies for any of that stuff. Now here are my extra tokens right here that I'll just use to help me remember where different things in my hand are. Remember, I got this item down here. This right here, there are 2 different alliances. You have this rose on this side, you have the skull on this side. Depending on which alliance you are a part of, and you choose at the beginning of the game which one you want, different encounters and actions, and or I believe some of the night cards maybe, definitely some of the encounters. Might be just night cards. Anyway, at different points in the game, it'll ask you which one of these you're part of, and then something different will happen based off of which one you've chosen. You also have the option to change sometimes throughout the game as well. And this is my saga. So it's called Haunted Past, Chapter 1. Gellian is known amongst the locals as a friendly yet melancholic chap, and may be prone to the occasionally excessive mug of heavy mead, but his countenance lately is even darker than usual. Evidently, his friend has gone missing in the woods. The only clues he has regarding his friend's whereabouts were the sound of clanking of chains in the night and a wet, chortling, coughing noise made its way into the mountains. Making its way into the mountains. So to complete this, I'll have to spend 5 gold and do 1 regale action. But the key is I have to have each of these either in my hand, or each of these keywords either in my hand or as an asset out on the board. And I don't have any of these right now, but obviously I can find mountain in a mountain area, forest and forest, plains and plains. But you can see when I go to chapter 2, so after I do this complete thing here, then I'll go to chapter 2. Now I'll need ally, item, and spell. Well, I have this item in my hand, so one of those keywords are taken care of. But before this even matters, I have to complete this portion. Now there's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and then we go to the finale. Now once I complete the finale, I get this totem, which is going to give me, you see, +2 sneak, +2 influence, and then also discard 3 plot cards from when it enters play. Discard 3 plot cards from play. Okay, and basically it gives me these extra attributes, helps me get rid of plot cards, and then I can go and fight the ancient. I cannot fight the ancient until I have my totem. And then you can see I have 4 health tokens here. These are my 4 action points. These are for fate. Fate can be used to gain an additional success when I'm doing an encounter. 1 gold and 1 hide token. The hide token is reusable, but I just, if I decide to hide, I put it on my character. One reason to do that is to gain surprise if I'm going to attack something. Okay, so remember, we need a mountain, a forest, and a plains keyword in order to complete chapter 1. So we have Badlands, mountain, and then right here is the plains. Now, I'm not going to go to the Dark Pinnacle because I don't want to worry about that additional night card that I told you about. So let's go. We're going to move. It takes 1. You know what? Let me move. All right, now you got all of the stats right there. You can see everything that I've got going on. So we're going to spend 1 action point to move down to Towers of Cain. Now, the first thing that happens when you move to a location that doesn't have anything on it is you automatically do a search action, which basically reveals an encounter. We've got visitation. All right, now this encounter can be resolved with 3 successes in the influence category. Now, this is an event, though, revealed. So when it's revealed, weakest hero performs an influence 3 test. So that's what that is. If I pass, I gain 1 spell. Doesn't look like anything negative happens. An Ancient of Light has been sighted, perhaps awoken from its slumber by the chaotic gloom. All right, well, I only have 3 influence, so an influence 3 test is going to be tricky. 5s and 6s are successes. So you see I got 1 success. Now, if this were an encounter that was going to stay on that location, then I would be able to count my success and then try it again. But events, they only roll once, and I failed it. But nothing negative happens, so we're okay. However, I do want to get a card with the plains keyword into my possession, either as a rumor or as an asset. So we're going to use another action point to search the Towers of Cain. All right, here we go. We have the Jailer. This is a stranger who's also insane and has the plains keyword. So here we go. If we defeat this encounter, then I'll have this. Okay, so they have a weakness, rank, which means that if I confront them and I have a asset with the rank keyword, I can automatically defeat them. I don't have that, though. While on the map, when you fail an influence test, place your enemy token on this card, even if you already have previous successes on this card. So normally, if you're trying to defeat it with influence, on the first roll, if you get 0 successes, you've pissed them off. They become an enemy. But with him, even if you've already got successes on here, but you don't have enough to beat him, and you roll a roll that gets you 0 successes, he becomes an enemy. So let's put him here. Oh wait, what's the flavor text? Wessler the jailer is beyond bribery and corruption. All right, so we have a couple of options here for how to confront him. We can either use influence or we can use fight. I have 3 influence. I have 4 fight. If I fight him, he's going to attack me as well. If I do influence, as long as I get at least 1 success every time, but I only have 2 more chances to do it because those successes would get removed at the end of the day. You know what? Let's try it. We're going to try to use influence to defeat this encounter. So here we go. First, confront. By the way, the sneak value here, I could use sneak if I were hidden when I went here. I could then use sneak to basically not let him see me, and so then I wouldn't have to. That would only really apply if this were an enemy. And then if I have successfully evaded him, I basically the evasion works for an entire day and I don't have to fight him. But again, he's not an enemy yet, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's see. Remember, 5s and 6s. All right, so we got 1 success with this 6 here. All right, so I don't want to waste that. So here we go. We're going to try. This is my last encounter. Now, if I only get 1 success here, then I will use this fate to get my final success and defeat him. Oh, but I got 2 successes. That was a 5. I got 2 successes. So we have defeated him. All right, so check it out. Let's get the jailer, pick him up. All right, so look at this. So rewards. Select one of, so it's not an enemy stranger, so I can pick. If it was the enemy stranger, you only get the first one, but it's not. So I can either gain the card's gold value, in this case 1, or I can draw a loot token. Well, my general rule is that if it's a 1, I never, unless I really need that 1 gold, I never just take 1 gold. I'm always going to draw a loot token in this case. If it's a 2, I probably will still draw a loot token. 3 or above, I almost always take the gold, depending on the game situation, of course. But so here we go. We've got this bag of loot tokens, and we've got a trap. Lose 1 health point immediately. Well, that's rough. All right, down to 3 health points. Jeez, there's not a whole lot of those in there. It figures that would be the very first thing I draw. All right, and then select one of these. Take the encounter as a rumor, or draw a reward card of the indicated type as a rumor. Now, remember, I need the plains keyword, so I'm definitely taking the jailer as a rumor. Alternatively, I could draw an ally card as a rumor instead, but jailer's staying in my hand. So now I've got 2 cards in my hand. You have a hand limit of 6 cards. You have an asset limit of 6 cards. I don't have any assets at all yet. And you have, if you are, a lot of the loot tokens are like one-off things that you keep until you want to spend it. You can only have 6 of those at a time. Okay, but that is the end of the day. So let's look at this real quick. So night, heroes at gloom locations lose health points. Well, I'm not at a gloom location, so we're fine. First hero draws and resolves a night card. Okay, we've got Fell Plague. It's an event. Strongest hero sacrifices 1 ally, then all heroes not hidden lose 1 health point. Not good. I don't have an ally to sacrifice, but I lose 1 health point. A horrific disease sweeps through the lands, unchecked by medicine or healing. And then the Aurea Crags fall into gloom. Let's see, where are they? All right, so now -1 health if you spend the night there. Okay, and then Dawn, defeated heroes regain 2 health points. I'm not defeated. Discard any encounter successes. Don't have any of those. Unveil any veil cards. No cards are veiled right now. Heroes are no longer hidden, and then each hero receives action points equal to their current health points. Well, I'm down to 2 health points, so I'm only getting 2 action points. So I actually think now I might go Dark Pinnacle, because then I'll regain my health. So spend 1 action point. I don't want to go this way because then I'll end up with an encounter here. Could be an enemy. I don't want to fight anybody in my current state. So I'm going to go here. All right. And then my second action point to go to the Dark Pinnacle. Now here I'm going to have to draw an encounter. Minishoba's Shrine is the one place you don't draw encounters for. Here we go. Secret door. Okay, this is a quest. It does have the mountain keyword, which I need. And if I defeat it, I get this trophy effect. Relocate to any location with a place. To cross such huge distances, the tunnel behind the door must surely be connected to a pathway through the veil. Now, I can't encounter it right now, obviously, because I don't have any more action points. So, or can't confront it, I should say. So this is going to be, I'm going to make camp at this point. It's going to be the end of the day. Okay, so here we are now. We've made camp. Nighttime. So first thing that happens is I would lose health points, except at Dark Pinnacle, as we've said. So I actually gain 2 health points because my maximum is 4 right now. Dark Pinnacle can heal up to 3. And then let's see what else happens here. Each hero in this location during the night phase draws and fully resolves 1 extra night card. So we got to remember that, because I believe night cards are next. They are. So effectively, this has shortened the game, or my maximum length of the game, by 1 turn. So here's the first night card. Major Earthquake event. Discard all cards from Frozen Portal, then place this card on the Frozen Portal. So the Frozen Portal, this is the one that has fallen into gloom. No encounters may be drawn here now. What was that flavor text? With a thunderous ear-splitting crack, the very earth itself has been rent asunder. All right, so now we have 1 more night card to do. Biting Frost. Revealed, place 2 obstacles at each location for each stranger it has. Well, no locations have strangers right now, so we're okay there. When a stranger enters play, place an obstacle at its location. Okay, so obstacles basically cost you 1 extra action to get through them, essentially. You'll see how it works if we end up having to deal with one. The prospect of frostbite rears its ugly head. Spider Grove falls into gloom. Up here. So this one, by the way, you can see heroes lose 1 action point when they move into this location. Same thing on the gloom side. And now this is a weather event, so it's going to stay in play until another weather event changes it. So we're going to have to try to remember this. I'm going to put it on Minisoba Shrine. Nothing, generally speaking, goes on Minisoba Shrine, so having it there might help us remember. I have a hard time remembering the weather events sometimes. Oh, I just remembered. This Frozen Portal. The Bishop of Pride, whenever a plains area falls into gloom, we have to draw a plot card. Edifice of Pride. Place, abode. As a wretched maiden with a horrifically scarred face looks up furtively as you enter. She explains that only the most beautiful, the most wealthy, and the most influential of nobility make for appropriate sacrifices at this pernicious altar of deceit and death. Most are unwilling sacrifices, but a rare few offer themselves up for the bishop's attentions in return for unnatural favors that will be invariably twisted in their delivery. Sanctifying this edifice will take time that you simply do not have. So to defeat this, I have to draw and discard a night card and flip its location into gloom. So sounds like I don't have to resolve the night card itself except for flipping its location into gloom. Now, if I don't get rid of this plot card by the time the bishop shows up, then it will gain this ability, a trap ability for me to discard all my loot when I fight it. And this goes here so that actually I can go deal with that here pretty much immediately, so that'll be good. All right, so I gain 4 action points because I'm back to 4 health. And before I leave the Dark Pinnacle, I definitely want to try to resolve this. Now, I think Sneak's probably my best bet because I have 4 Sneak. All right, so I have 4 Sneak, being a vampire ninja and all, so I will definitely do that. So I'll get to roll 4 dice. I'm going to spend 1 action point to confront this. Ooh. Got nothing. Wow. I can't believe that. All right, well, let's try it again because we need this. We need that. That's better. Okay, so we got 2 that time. And now I could... I could spend fate right now to defeat it, but I think I'm going to save my fate for stuff that's like actually dangerous for me. Instead, let's go ahead and use one more action. Because we only need one more success. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and use my fate. That I can't, I just can't. I want to go in, I want to get out of here. I want to move. I feel like if I spend my entire turn in one spot, I've probably spent a little too much time. So I use that fate to get the final success. Plus, I don't want to stay here at the Dark Pinnacle if I can help it. All right, so trophy, relocate to any location on the map. Well, the only other thing I need is a forest. So I think I will relocate to here because I can do the forest and then I can still come up here and deal with the Edifice of Pride. All right, so got that. So now I can either take the 1 gold or draw a loot token. We're going to draw a loot token. I'm not sure how many traps are in here. I think there might only be 1 trap. Hopefully no more than 2, but there's so many tokens in here. Surely I'll get something better this time. Map. Relocate to any city location, which is only, I guess maybe some of the other base games or expansion stuff might have other cities, but in this case, Minneshoba Shrine is the one. All right, and then I can either take this into my hand or get a spell, but obviously I want the mountain keyword, so I'm taking it into my hand. All right, and I have 1 action left, and I think I'm going to use it. Now, so I relocated here, right? I didn't move here, so that means I didn't automatically encounter anything. So we will use this action point to do a forest. Ooh, or do we hide? No, I don't think so. Let's do a forest encounter. Fruit orchard. It's a place, respite, and has the forest keyword, and I'll heal 2 health points, which isn't really important right now because I'm full health. But that we can do. So I have no more, I can't do anything with it right now, obviously no more action points, but we will deal with that on our next turn. So let's draw a night card. Ooh, horrendous monster. All right, so it's an enemy and an animal. Place this enemy at the celestial tree, which is what's falling into gloom. Where is that? Right up here. Monsters are legion through the untamed hinterlands, but this beast secured its fearsome reputation by consuming an entire village. Yikes. I get my 4 action points. And so now I'm going to try to defeat the fruit orchard encounter. We'll definitely use the sneak because we need 2 successes for either, but I only have 2 study, but I have 4 sneak. Excuse me, 4 sneak. Well, I got 1 success. So let's, oh, that was one action, so let's do 1 more. Surely I won't get 0 successes again. Oh, there we go. There's my 1, so that's 2 successes. And this is completed. So now here's the thing. By having forest, I now have everything I need. I have a plains, a forest, and a mountain keyword. So everything I need to complete my chapter 1, except I also need 5 gold, and I only have 1 gold. So I'm definitely going to take this 2 gold instead of drawing from the bag over there. And then I can either take this card or take a title. Obviously, I'm taking this card. So this fruit orchard, secret door, and the jailer all have given me what I need to complete my chapter 1 of Haunted Past, except I must get 2 more gold. All right, so now I want to turn this in from a rumor into an asset. So let's go do that, which is right here at Serene Lake. So we'll spend, actually, no, first, let's go deal with the Edifice of Pride. So spend 1 action to move up here. All right. To defeat, draw and discard a night card and flip its location. So the new religious cult, but again, we don't have to resolve that. So we won't actually be placing this on the Towers of Cain. We'll just be flipping the Towers of Cain, which is here. All right, and so Edifice of Pride is gone. And then, because I definitely don't want to spend the night here and lose 1 health, let's see, what on part 2, ally, item, and spell. You know what, yeah, let's go to the Divine Heights. All right, so check it out. So 1 action point to move to Divine Heights, but Divine Heights has this ability. Heroes gain 1 action point when they move into this location the first time on any day. So I get an action point back. And now, obviously, I draw an encounter for moving into the mountains. All right, we have a Hungry Eagle. This is an enemy, so I'm going to have to fight this animal mountain. If I beat it, I relocate to any location. After its natural prey was eradicated by the gloom, this ravenous giant eagle began turning its attention to larger food. Looks like people. All right. All right, so now the Hungry Eagle has 3 health. It's going to be rolling 4 dice when it attacks me. I'm rolling 4 dice when I attack it. Here we go. So look, so you can see battle rounds. Oh, and actually, so the eagle, let's back up a little bit. I'm not hidden. Enemies drawn this turn gain surprise. So the first round, that eagle is going to be rolling 5 dice. So first skirmish, hero and foe perform fight tests. For each success, the opponent loses 1 health point. As always, the hero loses 1 action point for every health point lost. I think I might have forgot to do that the first time. This is my roll. Okay. And then the enemy roll. Oh my God. He just killed me. Wow, I can't believe that just happened. Okay, so he just wiped me out. Here we go. That's gone too, of course. I go back to the Minnesota Shrine and make camp. My day is done. So now, playing on the Warrior difficulty, I would lose all my gold. I'm playing on the Adventurer difficulty. So I do not lose my gold. I do lose 1 rumor. These rumors, hold on, I'm trying to think here. It's actually relatively easy to get one of these back. So I'm going to, because my goal is to go down here, get the poison, use the poison to kill the Hungry Eagle. So I'll get rid of this one, the Plains one, because I'm definitely going back here. I have several places along the way too. So discarding this, keeping the others. Let's see. Yeah, so then basically that's the end of my turn. Okay, so believe it or not, that's actually the first time I've died in this game. So let's see here. Dawn. Defeated heroes regain 2 health points. There we go. Start at the Minnesota Shrine, which I'm there. Discard any encounter successes. Yep, unveil any veiled cards. Nothing doing there. Heroes no longer hidden. Each hero receives action points equal to their health points. So here's what my plan is. I'm gonna rest once to heal. Then I'll move here, and that'll be the end of this turn because obviously I'll be out of action points. But then I'll move because this has a shortcut. The Black Cave has a shortcut to the Serene Lake. I'll move from the Black Cave on my next turn to here. I'll create the Black Scale Poison, which lets me lose 1 action point and defeat an enemy at my location. So what I'll do is I'll then move from here to here and poison the Hungry Eagle. So that's what we're going to do for the next couple of turns. All right, so we're going to spend 1 action to rest, which regains 1 health point. All right. And then we'll spend the other action to move here. All right. Now, of course, we're going to now have an encounter here in the Badlands. All right. Fallen Shrine. Place, Respite, Badlands. Trophy, Force. So this, I have to do this trophy if I defeat this place. Draw and fully resolve a night card, then play continues as normal. So you ask why? Well, why would you go and defeat a place like that? Well, look, you can see I get 5 gold for defeating it. So let's go and put this here. Now, I don't have an action point to confront it right now, so I would have to wait for my next one, for my next turn. All right, so we draw a night card. Political Scheme. Event. When Breaking Camp ends, Rosen Knights lose 1 action point. Doomguard gain 1 action point. Well, see, I'm a Rosenguard. All right, so, and then I can choose sides. Well, now this is interesting. When Breaking Camp ends, and you don't break camp until the dawn, basically. So I think that this is allowing me to choose sides prior to... Somebody tell me, I think this is like basically trying to force you to become a Doomguard if you don't want to lose an action point. So somebody in the comments tell me if I'm playing this wrong, but it seems to me that it's giving me the option to go in and change this prior to breaking camp. So I'm going to flip sides. I'm going to the Doomguard. Plots to overthrow the supposedly tyrannical local government are uncovered by the secret police. And then Sea of Clouds falls into gloom, which is... right here. I gain my 3 action points at the beginning of the day. And then it says Doomguard gain 1 action point. So I am Doomguard now. So we'll gain that action point. Now I'm going to... Before I do anything, I'm definitely going to rest, all right, to gain that health back. Now, the question is, do I go in and deal with the Fallen Shrine while I'm here to get the 5 gold? That gold could be really useful. I mean, I need 2 more gold anyway, which I could get by defeating the Hungry Eagle. Let's do it. You know what? Let's do it. Okay, so... Spend an action to confront, to confront the Fallen Shrine. I'm going to use my sneak. I have 4 sneak. Got 1 success. Need 2 more. So we'll use another action. Nothing. Wow. 1 more action. Nothing again. Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm rolling horrifically. Okay, that's the end of the day. All right. Night card. Incursion. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, never mind. This is for strangers. Okay. Incursion. Revealed, Doomguard heal 2 health points. Rosen Knights gain 1 gold. All heroes can then choose sides. So see, with this one, it doesn't say at the end of camp. This one says do it immediately, and then all heroes choose sides. Political agents scheme to test their enemy's mettle by deploying soldiers into rival territories. All right, and then the Desolate City falls into gloom right here. All right, so at this point, beginning of the day, that success goes away. But I'm pretty stubborn. We are going to try that 1 more time. I really want that gold. So 1 success. And there we go. 2 more successes with these 2 6s. All right, so remember, we can either take this 5 gold or draw from the loot bag. We're definitely taking the 5 gold. And then we can either take this card into our hand, or we can take a title. Now, let's see here real quick. So for the chapter 1, we obviously don't need it. Ally item spell, don't need it for chapter 2. Pious, don't need it for chapter 3. Pious, attire, and respite. Oh, we do need it for chapter 4. The question is, do we want to hold on? This would be basically just clog up our hand until chapter 4, because we can't, you turn it into an asset. I think we're going to go ahead and get the title instead. Okay. So we have Oathbreaker. Title, it has the merit keyword. Now the star means we can only have one asset with the merit keyword. So hero, add +2 to your attributes against encounters that have your enemy or claim tokens. Okay. The end justifies the means even when your means are their end. So this could be helpful, kind of depending, especially against strangers that I end up fighting. So we'll see. That goes into my hand for now. All right, I'm going to spend one action to move here. All right, so here's a plains location. We're going to have a plains encounter. We have the Well of Being. It's a place, respite, plains. Trophy, I can heal 2 points if I defeat it. But I don't think I really need to spend time worrying about that place right now. All right, so now that we're here, we can do the discover action. At the location, own a reward rumor card in hand, which I am. The Serene Lake is where we can discover the black scale poison. And then you simply spend an action to convert the rumor into an asset. Oh, I just realized I actually am going to want to go after the Well of Being because the plains is what I ended up discarding when I died. I have a forest, I have a mountain, but I don't have the plains that I need for chapter 1. So we will take care of the Well of Being here on the next turn. So let's scoot this down. We have the black scale poison available to us now. So that's the end of the turn. Night card. Burning Heat Wave. All right, so this is going to replace this weather, that weather card. From seemingly nowhere, the burning sun rises, blasting the land with baking heat. Reveal, discard a quest from play. Are there any quests in play? It's an enemy, place, event, enemy. Nope, there's no quest in play. Map, when night begins, each hero who is not hidden loses 1 health point. All right, so I'm going to start hiding at the end of each round. All right, then I get my 4 action points. This should be the last turn where I have only 4. So let's see what happens. All right, so let's see. We'll do sneak here. So 1 action. Oh, that's going to be messy. Whoa, got 3 successes right off the bat. There we go. So that's the kind of rolling I like to see. This is gone, by the way, because we did the poison. All right, so I could take the 1 gold, but I've got quite a bit of gold right now. So we're going to draw loot instead. 3 gold, nice. And then we'll take this card into our hand. So now we have the 3 keywords that we need. Plains, forest, and mountain. So we're going to spend the 5 gold. Well, we got to spend an action. We're doing a regale action here. All right. So spend an action point. Spend the 5 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then we have to, when you do it, well, here, let me just show you. When you do a regale action, pay 5 gold, then for each keyword, either discard a rumor with the keyword or sacrifice an asset for its gold value or select and keep an asset not already chosen. I don't have any assets with the right keywords, so all of this is going to come from my hand. So I'll discard all 3 of these cards. Increase maximum and current health points by 1. So now I've got 5 health points. Gain an eligible skill card of the chapter's level. So this was chapter 1. So we've got 2 possible chapter 1 skill cards. So Kung Fu. This is a deed. When a battle starts, the enemy loses 1 health point. If the enemy has no health points left, skip the skirmish step. So basically, I can use that once a day because you see I have to veil it when I use it. And then or I can do this one, Woodsman. When you draw forest encounters, draw 1 extra encounter and choose 1 to discard. So there you go. That was the first chapter of Shadows of Kilforth. I'm telling you, I got off to a rough start in this one. And chapter 1 really took a long time to finish. Normally, the chapters don't take quite that length of time. Hopefully, we can get through the rest of the chapters in a decent amount of time. So be sure to come back and check out the second part of this. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.